Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
Remember being a little kid, having thousands of dreams, living in a poor neighborhood, running without shoes in the streets. I didn't really care about nothing but going to school and playing with my friends. I wouldn't get happy if my parents gave me a few cents. Didn't know shit about life and how hard it really was. Now that I'm older, I think about it and say, fuck the past. I stopped living in a world full of fantasies. I moved to this country and expected to find happiness. At the age of 11, I came to realize that nothing is what you expect. A few weeks after I came here, my mom was in the hospital, half her body paralyzed. I'm glad she's still with us, it wasn't her time to go to paradise. That left his family to go with another. I don't really talk to him, I don't even bother.
Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
Fuck him, I look more up to my older brother. At the age of 15 he left school and started working to take care of my sister, me and my mother. Back in Mexico we had a lot of struggle. I changed in the way I am now, has gotten me in a lot of trouble. Many wonder why am I the way I am now. If you knew everything that has happened to me, I'm sure you would understand. Sometimes it is really hard for me to stand and face reality, but I smile cause I know I have to live life happy, since there's no such thing as immortality. Worry my life being sad in the past, I already fought a lot of bad. I'm just glad I have never accepted when I was offered to just crack. They told me cocaine takes the pain away. Well, I don't need that shit, I'd rather draw and spit rhymes all day and take my anchor out that way. To God I always pray so he can help me out and guide me through the right lane.
Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
You don't like the way I am, disappear of my life, cause I'm not gonna change. I'm still gonna be that weird crazy guy with just a few friends. I keep my circle small cause I don't trust many. I have learned from the past and backstabbers I have met many. I don't have no more time to deal with stupid stuff. I have left the past behind cause life is really tough. I remember my mom selling tamales in the street, scared of getting caught by the pigs cause those motherfuckers didn't give a shit. When they caught you they would take it from you and throw it away. And I don't think that that's the right way. Of course cause at home they always have hot food in their plate, cause no matter what they still getting paid. They don't know the real struggle finding a job without getting discriminated. And if you know your rights they fucking hate it. We live in a fucked up society where they wanna lock us all up just for being poor, or send us back to our countries by sending immigration to our doors.
Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
Struggle ain't gonna get me to be on my knees on the floor. I'm always gonna be on my 2 feet standing strong. Many people told me to forgive my father, to give him one more chance. Why the fuck am I gonna do that if I already did it once? All he do was to fuck up again, causing me and my little sister lots of pain. They say to let it go and to just be happy. Well tell me how the fuck am I gonna do that if I grew up knowing he never fucking liked me? This is the type of shit I have to go through every day. And I know I'm not the only one cause a lot of people can relate. I keep it real, I know out that there's many going through the shit that I did or do, and they know how I feel. I have shitty ass job that barely leaves enough to eat. I rap real life shit, not about having thousands of bitches on my dick. My songs ain't about how thick my wallet is. My songs talk about how fucked up this life really is. Yeah.
Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
It'll be awfully hard on them and their families. Well, he's no better than a blasted criminal.
Anxiety and even anger.
Even newly born babies show it.
There's a wholesome abandonment.
A baby just can't do much of anything for himself.
There's only one thing to do now, as I see it.
The father-son confrontation.
Started wilding out, started cutting class. Without a father figure, his moms was gone working 8 to 12-hour shifts. Raised without a father figure, started wilding out, started cutting class. without a father figure. Moms was hurting, little homie needed shoes and clothes. Raised without a father figure.
I'll be a son of a gun.